Hello there. Hi. Happy Monday, everybody. Well, I don't know what time it is where you are. Maybe it's not Monday. Maybe it's a different day. I'm here to talk about weight loss. The topic for today is going to be a good one. Why most people fail to lose all the weight and quit. There's several reasons. But there's a specific one we're going to talk about. A very important one. I got it written down on this piece of paper. We're going to talk about it. Coming from lots of experience. Lots and lots of experience. So, anyway, hold on. We got to send a text real quick. And turn on my focus mode. I don't want do not disturb. I want client calls. There we go. That's the one that blocks everything. Everything. Good morning. Let's bring up the chat. Good morning, y'all. So good to see you. Good morning. I had a fun adventure this past weekend in Atlanta because we did a Tough Mudder for my annual program with the Guild. I'm going to shamelessly show some pictures and some video because I want to. Let's see. Let's find a fun picture to show. Let's see. Oh, here we go. This is one in the meeting space waiting for everybody to show up. Is that going to load? There we go. Hi. That was fun. Waiting for everybody to show up there. And here's us in the hall with everybody that showed up. So good to see all these amazing people. Oh, but don't worry, there's video too. I'll be showing that. But we got these amazing folks that go and get dirty in the mud doing the Tough Mudder. Like, look at these folks right here. Look at these faces. These are people that have transformed their lives, or in the process of transforming their life in the process. So I know some of y'all are here in the chat. I see you. Good morning. I'm getting back into the swing of things in the Guild this week. You know, last week leading up to the event was nuts. And then before that, I was doing my 50K. So it has just been a stressful 2 weeks for me. Very busy. Very, very busy. I'm very glad that it's over and I'm back to like the regular grind of life. And I got so many exciting things for the Guild planned. We're about to start the empower. Oh, wait, hold on. Do I have a screenshot I can show? No, hold on. We're getting ready in next month, which I'm ramping up for the Empowerment Boot Camp beginning in May. I love the Empowerment Boot Camp. It's one of my favorite programs to do in the Guild. I've done it once a year now, every year since the Guild was founded. And it's just become one of my favorites. Run 6 weeks. It's like a boot camp for the mind and the heart. We get you different exercise, get you going. So if you are interested in being a part of that and you're not in the Guild, don't worry, you can join the Guild and you can come be part of it with us. And those of you in the Guild, you already get it because you get everything. Nothing costs extra. Just your time and attention. Let's see, looking here in the chat. But yeah, it's just, it's such a fun adventure, this weight loss journey. It's such a fun adventure working with other people. I love working with people on this journey, watching them transform, because I just remember how amazing it felt for me becoming the version of myself that I am now. And what's interesting is it's not like you stop. You keep going. There's so many things to learn. Let's see. Looking here in the chat. Still finding mud after 3 showers. Yeah, I don't doubt it. You get mud in places you didn't even know you could get mud. Actually, you were Harley. You were in. There's a good picture y'all were in. Let me find that picture. Hold on. Where is it? Oh well, Harley. Here's one of y'all sitting in the mud. Yeah. It's just because it's just like you're nuts. It's like, why am I doing this? Who am I? Who even am I? Hey, that's the kind of feeling you have when you do something like this, when you've been living in that body that's like, here we go. Boom. Here it is. Come on, picture. There it is. Look at these nutso people. It's great. Just love it. So good. So good to see y'all there. Third empowerment boot camp for you. Yeah, that's right. It's going to be the third one. Keeps coming out of my ears. How is there more in there? Yeah. Oh, hey, we got a weight loss question from Rosie. If I may, you may indeed. Is it better to take a break from a trigger food or better to practice control around it? Well, I don't think there's one single answer. I don't think there's one singular answer. I can think of situations where it might be right to take a break, and I think it might be better to take a little step back from it and practice control. So here's what I'd say. Here's how I'd approach it as a concept, right? I mean, if I could talk to you, we could find out what is best for you in this moment. I don't know, but we could talk about it as a concept, which is, let's say you have a food that you're just losing your shit around. First thing is, I would not have it in the house. If it's around, you just keep losing your mind, I would not have it in the house. I just wouldn't do that, because it's like you're just setting yourself up for failure, and you kind of got to think of it like, I got to stop the bleeding, so to speak. I got to stop the bleeding. But is it better to practice control? Well, you need to practice control. So what I would usually do is, like, if I have a triggering food, I'm losing my mind around, I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a break from it for like a month. For like a month, I'm not going to have it. I'm not giving it up forever, right? Like I very much am a fan of, like, don't give up a food forever, right? But I do think there's utility in saying I'm not going to have a food for like a month. I'm just not going to have it ever for a month. And then I'm going to bring it back. But when I bring it back, I'm not going to go like, all right, I'm taking a break and then I can do whatever I want. No. I'm going to take it away for a month and then I'm going to bring it back under control. And I'm going to see how I behave. Almost like a test. And I'm going to see how I do. And if I fail the test, then I got to take another break from it again. The one that's coming to mind for me was Wheat Thins. Old Chris. Old Chris loved himself some Wheat Thins. Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. Do I have a picture of old Chris? Is that an old Chris picture? No, that's a new Chris. Do I not have a picture of old Chris queued up in here? Oh, I guess I don't. Anyway, I very much had a problem with Wheat Thins. Very much. What are these pictures? No, that's not it either. And so what I had to do is I would take breaks from the Wheat Thins. Hold on one second. I'm clearing out all these screenshots I'm seeing. No, that's not. I would regularly consume a family-sized box of Wheat Thins in like a day or two. Not unusual to do that. I'd eat just massive quantities in one sitting. I joke like they put cocaine in them or something, or heroin. I kind of think they do. So I would tell myself, like, you can't have any. And then I would bring a small box home and I'd say, all right, you can have a serving at a time, one time, and then you got to count it. And then if I brought them in, and then if I just lost control and I ended up talking myself into having a bunch, I'd be like, well, I'm not ready. And then I would take the Wheat Thins away from myself. Then I'd bring them back a month or two later, bring a box back and see how I'd do. It was a couple of years before I could reliably bring a box of Wheat Thins in. Like, I would bring it back and I'd do okay. And then I would lose my shit. And then I would have to take them away again. And so it was like, that was my penance. It's like, okay, it's not a punishment. It's just like, I've just clearly demonstrated for myself, I'm not willing to control myself around them. So I'm not going to bring them in my home. That doesn't mean I wouldn't have them out and about if I happened to stumble on them in the wild, but I didn't really stumble upon Wheat Thins in the wild very often. I didn't tend to do that. So, yeah. So I think if you have a triggering food or a vice food that is getting the better of you, perhaps take a little break from it for like a month and then bring it back under control. See how you do. And if you lose your shit, take it away again for a month, right? And then bring it back under control. And maybe you just got to find the circumstances that work for you. Well, here's another question. There is new talk around probiotics helping weight loss. Any thoughts on this? I see no reason to worry about such shit. That's like worrying about little tiny things. Like, I would not be worried about probiotics if I'm not getting 7 to 10,000 steps a day on average. Like, you're worrying about the wrong things. I would not be worrying about probiotics if you're still eating when you're not hungry regularly. I would not be worrying about probiotics if you're not eating enough protein. I would not be worrying about probiotics if you're not eating fiber and focusing on that, or if you're working on your emotional eating. It's like, sure, does it maybe make a little bit of difference? It's probably marginal at best. I don't really know. Maybe. I mean, having a good functioning digestion does help, but like, it's sort of like, I think people, what they do is they look for stuff like this to do so they can feel like they're doing something, but allowing them to get out of doing the real work, like making your regular lifestyle more active and engaged is what I'd say. Rosie, okay, you gave a little bit more context. So mine are French fries when eating out. Wheat Thins are good with cheese. With cheese, yeah, they are. That's how I like to do them. Cheese in a can, that fake cheese. So French fries when eating out. So what I would do, Rosie, is I would say for a month you don't get French fries. You just don't get them for a month. Period. End of story. You just don't get them because you can't trust yourself. You know you're going to bullshit yourself. You know you're going to talk yourself into it. So just say for 1 month, no fries. Period. Just none ever. Period. Now, maybe you pick a fry or two off somebody's plate. That's fine, but you don't order them. And then what I would do is go to a restaurant. I'm like, okay, I'm going to order a small fry with my burger or chicken sandwich or whatever you're getting. But you might find some dishes, if you don't get the fries, you just don't even want it. That's how I'd approach it. So, but back to what I was saying with this one. Yeah, I just wouldn't fuss with it. It's a distraction from the important stuff. You know, don't try to master the little subtle things until you've mastered the basics. So many people, they're trying to lose weight by not mastering the basics. And that, you know, the topic of today's live stream is like, why do people fail at weight loss and ultimately quit? Like, why do people not lose all the weight and ultimately eventually quit? And we're going to get to that. But while it wasn't on my topic list to talk about today, I think this points to a very important thing, which is like, don't major in minor things. Like becoming a master at probiotics, that's majoring in a minor thing. It doesn't make a difference hardly. It's not going to move the needle in a meaningful way. Instead, I'd rather you major in major things, right? Do the important things. Get your regular lifestyle up. Yeah, that's right. Steal some of it. That's how you do it. Yeah, this is the other thing is like, I just don't really order fries out much anymore. Right now, it's great if I'm at a table and a bunch of other people have fries. And it's not that I never order fries. I do get them sometimes. But if I'm in weight loss mode, I do it sparingly. And I usually didn't get fries unless I was in a calorie tracking phase, because then I could account for them a lot easier. If I'm not in a calorie tracking phase, I tend to not get things like fries because it's just hard to know how many calories are coming into it. Yes, communal fries is the way. It is the way. Because I really find a lot of times I just want a few. I just want like just a couple little handfuls of fries and that's it. But no, restaurants, you can't do that. You know, it's just a thing. It's a thing. Let's see. You know what? I want to show some clips from the Tough Mudder this weekend. Let me find a good clip to show. I haven't vetted these because I got to make sure they're not. Oh, did I accidentally move my? Oh man, I think I moved my Ultra video files over by mistake. Huh? That's weird. I did. All right. Well, I'll fix that later. No, did I not bring my? No. I need my GoPro files. Where's my GoPro files? Sorry. Hold, please. When I get this figured out, let's see. GoPro files are dot. What file extension are those? Are they all .movs? Oh, they are. Oh, no, here they are. No, those are from my phone. Well, maybe I'll show phone ones. I guess I will. I guess I'll show phone ones. I got to find it one that nobody's indecent. Oh, that's weird. The pictures came out as... Bizarre. All right, well, maybe I won't show them. I thought I had him queued up, but dang it. You know what? I'm fixing this. I'm fixing this. I can fix this. I can fix it. I just have the memory card right here. I just need to put the memory card in, so I can do that. Yeah, I just need a taste. Yeah, with the fries, that's just it. I just need a taste. I don't need to have all the fries. Anybody else have any weight loss questions? Actually, it's kind of fun. Anybody got any questions about weight loss? Ideas, concepts, how to handle things. Somebody asked me a question out on the course. How do you know when you need to sit in your feelings versus when you need to distract yourself from your feelings from an emotional eating standpoint? I'm like, that's a good question. That's a really good question. All right, GoPro. Huh. That's weird. No, this is the files right here. What in the world? All right, let me go to the trash. Oh, I'm going to be sad if something happened to those files. Oh, no. Those are definitely not the right files. Oh, that's going to be sad if something happened to my GoPro files from the Tough Mudder. No, something's not right. Something happened. No, here they are. What? Wait, the date's all wrong. Is this them? Yeah, that's them. Wow, the date got all messed up. I specifically checked that to make sure the date was loaded correctly. All right, well, hold please. Let me transfer these over, but this time I'm going to copy. I'm not going to move. All right, while those are moving over, don't forget everybody to smash that like button if you could, if you're on YouTube. Totally helps with the YouTube algorithm. It feels weird asking for that, but if you could smash it, just give it a click. Big help. And it'll be somewhere on your screen. There'll be a like button. And also, if you are new here, if you happen to be new, or if you just haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll be notified when I go live. You don't have to, but it's there if you'd like to. Totally there if you'd like to. Yeah, this is it. Exercise does not lead to weight loss. It does not. Exercise is not actually that required. Exercise makes fit. And that's why I think it's so important. We always have to have clarity that we're pursuing 4 goals: thin, healthy, happy, and in shape. We're trying to pursue all 4 of these: thin, healthy, happy, and in shape. Exercise helps you get in shape. Does it also help becoming thin and healthy? Well, of course it does. But it more directly helps with being in shape. And getting in shape does help you become happy, healthy, thin. Does becoming thin help you get in shape? Yeah, it does, but indirectly, right? Like the thing about these 4 is they're interdependent. They help each other, but they are 4 distinct and different things. And I think that's a really important thing that we don't always think about. We don't always think about that they're separate things. I like to check menus for side orders like Brussels sprouts or something interesting. Yeah. Well, and also I had to just start realizing, why do I always need a side? What's wrong with just getting just an entree? Just wondering, when you're tracking calories, is it best to set aside so many calories per meal? When I track calories, I just put my food in and they seem to always run out at the end of the day and go over. Yes, I would strongly encourage, if anybody's tracking to a deficit, to make a budget. You budget your calories. So how many calories am I willing to allocate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? And you learn how to make food choices that fit within that budget. So in my journey, typically dinner was around 600 to 700. We'll say 600 calories is pretty common. So when I'd get to dinner, it's okay, I can have whatever I want for dinner. It just has to fit 600 calories. But I can have whatever I want. And of course, in my head, though, it also needs to keep me full, right? I could have something, I could have pizza, but 600 calories of pizza isn't probably going to keep me full for very long. And I want to stay full. And so that's there's a bit of trial and error that goes with it. But 100% I encourage you to do, to budget your calories. And actually, let me see if I can log in here to MyFitnessPal. I'm not using MyFitnessPal currently, but I can show you what this looks like in here. Let me log in. MyFitnessPal is an example. You can do a calorie budget per meal even, and especially if you pay for it, you can do a bunch of meal blocks. All right. Okay. It's wanting me to do 2-factor authentication. Got it. I guess somebody might want to steal my MyFitnessPal data. I'm sure it's some other thing. Is this the one? Yeah. All right. Let's hold on. Let me do screen share here. No. Oh, that's my. So here's MyFitnessPal. So if you go into, let's say, and this works on the app, but like you go into the food, so you'll see here 0 of 300. I'm going to make this even bigger. All right. So 0 of 300, right? Oh, it does not. There we go. I don't want to have to scroll. There we go. So I could go in like 0 of 715 right here, 0 of 200. This allows you to set a per meal block budget. And so this is clearly an old budget that I have set up from when I was using MyFitnessPal in the past. So what it would allow me to do, let's say I'm going to add dinner. So let's say I'm going to come in and I'm just going to do, let's say I'm doing some white rice, 6 ounces, and I'm doing some chicken thighs, and I'm doing, I don't know. We'll just, I don't know. We're just gonna say it's chicken or rice. I'm not gonna fuss with that. I would probably do something else with it. But let's say I'm doing that. So I guess here we go. 460 calories of 600 were consumed, right? So I could build it out, and what's really nice. And then I could see, it allows me to keep up with that. And the other thing you'll see I pay for MyFitnessPal, so it allows me to configure it. Breakfast, morning snack, lunch, afternoon snack, dinner, evening snack. I actually really do think this is the best way to do it, because then you can see when is the food getting in. And you'll notice, so like I have a budget of 0 here for morning snack. I don't have to eat something, right? But I'm specifically saying the morning snack block, I am not budgeting anything. So 100%, Tamara, I believe, is who I was asking that. Yes, I would set a budget. What's a good calorie counter? Personally, I like MyFitnessPal. Personally, I'm sure there's other great ones out there, but MyFitnessPal has been in the game a long, long, long time. And I think if you're serious about weight loss, you're going to pay for it. And you're going to support the developers. You're going to want them to keep making it great. So you throw your money at it to throw the support. And they have a lot of wonderful features. And the paid version is phenomenal. Personally, I say stop being a fucking cheapskate with your health. Like most of us will waste money on food. Right? You can waste $70 a year on a subscription, but that's how I look at it. How do you go off hunger and hit your target if you don't eat the food you budgeted for? Would you just be under and move on? Well, this is where the trial and error comes in. You'll just have to notice like, okay, I made that choice and I got hungry. I just need to make a different choice next time. So yeah, you just have to budget for it. And you have to make wise choices, right? Like if you give yourself 600 calories and you have pizza, like you're probably going to get hungry. Like you're probably going to get hungry, and it's going to be nobody's fault but yours. So, but part of why I also like MyFitnessPal is they have a very extensive database. The database of food calories is one of the most important things. And the other reason I like MyFitnessPal is it gives you breakdowns of all the micronutrients, which you may not want now, but later you'll probably want. And it ties into everything. Like, any app that does calorie tie-ins or ties into the data, like MyFitnessPal is the most compatible of all of them because they're the biggest name in the game, right? They've been doing it longer. So personally, like if anybody ever asks me what to do, I always recommend MyFitnessPal. Like I just don't see a downside to using it. And the way I look at it, it's like if you're using something else, I'm like, okay, what's the slam dunk feature that you need? Like I would be real clear on that. If you can't identify a slam dunk feature, then I would just use MyFitnessPal. It's kind of the best, personally. That's what I think. But ultimately, I guess the best calorie tracking app is the one you'll use. But I really like MyFitnessPal a lot. A lot. So, good question. Okay, here we go. Videos up. Okay, they've transferred. Now I can. Here we go. Now we can show some things. So let's show a video file. So we'll do. Choose file. Let's come in here. Pegasus. Live events. There we go. Atlanta 2026. And we're looking for file The GHs. All right, let's get down to the GHs. And GH 95. Here we go. So we'll just do this and kind of get
My ass comes out, don't walk.
Good job, guys. Oh, yeah. Dennis, catch it up. Don't let him pass you, Tony. Don't let him pass you.
getting it done.
Don't let him pass you.
Let's find another one. Come on, load. There we go. I'm just going to grab one at random. Oh, there we go. Mud Mile. This one was brutal this year. This one was brutal. That was a brutal one. Oh, this is going up Mutterhorn. Oh, so this is Jessica climbing it for the first time.
See, it's just you basically it's just this rinse repeat all the way up.
This is a big, like, you know, white whale for so many people.
Yep.
Part of the deal.
It's part of it.
Yeah, this one's a big
Over and swing your legs around.
And then when you're up there, there's just really no
No,
way
you're
to
good. I'm gonna wait and
go
let you
over
go.
without having to look having to look down.
Yep, there's kind of no way to do
Really
it.
not.
But at this point, there's only one way to
go,
go, and that's down. So, yeah, just like that, just like that.
I'll turn the volume down so that way you can hear me over the things. Here's the GHs.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I guess that was a shorty clip. It's just so cool to see you all out there just pushing yourselves, and I'm just grabbing ones at random, seeing what we get. How's everybody walking together as a group? Oh, that would be the beginning. That'd be the beginning. Oh, this one was scary this year. This one was real scary this year. So this one, and here's the thing, like, so many people, like, they're on the journey, they're like, well, I don't think I could do this. It's like, look, you being big has nothing to do with this one. Like, you're just going underwater. Like, that's it. You're just going underwater and you're laying on your back. Like this one, I mean, don't get me wrong. It'll trigger your fear, especially the mops here on the left when those suckers go across your face. Yeah, it's very claustrophobic and claustrophobia inducing to have that when you go underneath that one. 100% it is. Very claustrophobic inducing.
Oh boy. It gets low. It gets low. It does get low. It gets all the way under.
It gets low by the end, y'all.
It gets really low here, guys.
There's the mud. I mean, just look at that mud. It's just ridiculous. Here, skip ahead. There's Tina up there on the top. Lost a bunch of weight, just crushing it, helping everybody else get up. Yeah, Bree. The cage crawl this year was indeed brutal. Yeah, that's just it right here, right? It just it hits on your claustrophobic. It hits on your fear of heights. It's such a great tea. Oh, that's right. That's when he had to dish his shoes. I was like, who? I didn't know where they gave him. Like, whose shoes are these? So, and here at the end, just like mud, just mud. Anyway, so cool to see this from everybody. So cool. All right, I need to go to the bathroom real quick because apparently I gotta pee. So I'm gonna pull up a video file. I'm gonna come back, and then we're going to talk about the topic for the day. But let's find the right file. That's not a it's not a thing. Like, find something on brand for what we're looking for. Let's see, movies, exports. We find the right one. No, here we go. All right. You know what? Let's find one that's actually kind of goes in with what we're talking about, the thing. We'll just do this one. All right. Be back. I'm on a health journey. Yeah, but your actual goal is to lose weight. Well, I don't want to say that. It's like, but that's actually the goal. You should say it. You should say what you want. Well, but I also want to be healthy. Okay, then say I want to be thin and healthy. Right? Well, I'm just trying to feel better. Okay, well, why don't you say I'm trying to feel better and be thin and be healthy? We could change feel better to happy. And you're like, well, no, I also want to be strong. I want to be capable. Okay, in shape. We could just simplify that. So you want to be thin, healthy, happy, and in shape. We need clarity of what it is that we're trying to accomplish. If you don't have a clearly defined objective, it's hard to commit to something. You know, what are you committed to doing today on your journey? I'm going to move. Okay, well, if you got out of bed and walked to the toilet, technically you have met that definition of moving today. So how do we know you did it? I've begun to realize we don't commit because when we make a very crystal clear commitment, it then becomes easy to actually fail. Part of the reason why we don't commit to something is because we want to avoid failure. If I don't commit, I don't fail. People think they're committed to their weight loss journey, but they're not. They have this illusion of commitment. And I'm so guilty of doing this myself, where I would trick myself into saying I was committed. And there's lots of reasons I would do it, lots of things I would do. One of them is I would be super wishy-washy with what it is I'm committing to. All right. Okay. Let's talk about the topic for the day, for today's live stream, which is why people fail to lose weight and quit. And there's something that's really important. Really, really, really important. If you hate what you're doing, you won't keep doing it. One of the biggest reasons people quit and fail to lose all the weight is they lose weight in a way that they can't do for 10 years. And the person's like, well, I don't know how to do it. And so they just give up looking. The truth is, if you want to lose your weight and keep it off, you've got to find a way of eating that you can do for 10 years. So if you're like genuinely, truly, actually wanting to give up carbs for 10 years, like willfully, no matter if you're losing weight, gaining weight, maintaining weight, you just don't want to eat carbs, then that would be fine. You see, you have to ask yourself, like, would I be willing to do what I'm doing even if I was maintaining my weight? If that was the goal, if the goal was maintenance, would I still want to do what it is I'm doing? And so many people are like, well, I'm willing to do this when I'm losing weight. It's like, that's not going to work. Now, you do have to be in a deficit. You do have to find yourself into a deficit, which means you eat less. That is the temporary part. But some of the times the way you create the deficit is also by moving more. Right? It's not just eat less. Far too often we ask ourselves to do something that's miserable, that's difficult. Tell me in the chat, have you ever tried to lose weight in a way that you knew you didn't like, but you tried to gaslight yourself into liking it for the first month, right? Like I totally, when I was doing keto, would gaslight myself into saying I liked keto. I'm curious if anybody else in the chat, tell me in the chat if you tried to gaslight yourself into liking a way of eating to lose weight. Like, oh, this is great. I'm going to be able to do this. This is my new life. Oh, it's so good. I don't mind giving this up at all. This is awesome. I can go out and eat anywhere now because I can always eat wings. It's like, yeah, but I never stopped and thought like, I'm gonna eat as much as I love chicken wings. Eventually, I'm going to get sick of eating wings with not much sauce on them. Right? Eventually, I'm going to get sick of not being able to have a sandwich. Eventually, I'm going to be sick of not being able to have pasta or a piece of pizza or a piece of chocolate. Like, I would totally just gaslight myself into, this is great. Because I assumed that if I got thin, I would just be happy enough that it would offset my need for these foods. Yeah, shakes, right? Like this one. I did this. I did the New Directions one, which is a stupid ass diet. Here, let me show you. Let's show you New Directions. Like, check out this stupid diet. So I do this diet, which a doctor supervised diet. And they're doing GLP-1s now. Of course they are. Of course they are. But all I could eat was the food that they sold me. That's it. 800 calories a day. Oh, and you know how they did it? The doctor gave me appetite suppressants as a prescription so that I could lose weight. Of course, now they'll just do it with the GLP-1, right? And so it's like, I tried to gaslight myself and like, this is awesome. I could do it. No, I hated it. It was miserable. It was miserable. Yeah, right here, keto. I love fruit. Like we would tell ourselves like, well, I don't need to have fruit. Like there's nothing wrong with having a piece of fruit. Fruit isn't the problem. But no, we don't want to talk about that. You've got to find a way to lose weight that you could do for 10 years. Because otherwise, if you got to lose 100 pounds, you're probably going to quit before you get there. Now, yes, to some people like, well, I'm going to blitz my way down. It's like, okay, that's cool. Cool. But what are you going to do when you get there? So many people, we wait to think about maintenance until we get there, thinking that we'll have it all figured out. But no, you need the entire weight loss journey to be learning how to live your new life. Yeah, like right here, this one. Don't give up the food and work out 2 to 3 times a day for 10 months. Lost weight, yeah, but I hated myself and burned out everyone around me. Right, and that's the thing we gotta remember. It's like just because we're losing weight doesn't mean we're changing. It doesn't mean we're changing. So many of us have done it. I've done it. We lose the weight thinking we've changed when we didn't. We brought a finite solution to a permanent, infinite problem. Your weight will always need to be managed. Your body will always need to be managed. The health of your body will always need to be managed. That never goes away. But we don't learn how to manage it in a way we could do infinitely. We only learn how to manage it in a way we could do it temporarily. And then we would get to the end and be like, oh, I can't do this, but thank goodness now I'm thin. And then we'd gain the weight back. What's wrong with me? I would think. It was only once I started going like, okay, what's something I could do forever? You know, what's a way of losing weight? What's a way of managing my weight that I could do indefinitely? Now, I had to kind of learn this. There was definitely some trial and error. 100% there was. Like I tried intermittent fasting, I realized I couldn't do it. Like the moment I found myself no longer willing to do something, I would tell myself, we're not doing this anymore. That doesn't mean I wouldn't try it. I tried meal prepping, did it for a month and just like, I don't like it. I don't like it. So, but the answer isn't give up and go back to what I was doing before. The answer is find the next thing. Find the next thing. And if that doesn't work, try the next thing. And if that doesn't work, try the next thing. And if that doesn't work, try the next thing. And what I originally started thinking at the beginning of the journey that took is, what if I stopped trying to get named diets? You know, I looked at diets like this stupid New Directions one and started thinking like, well, what if that's the problem? What if that's the problem? I'm going to these programs that do all the thinking for me and I'm not learning. I don't know why things are done the way they are. And I also started thinking like, well, if I look at thin people on a population level, thin people eat everything. All the same stuff that fat people eat. Well, how do I explain that? And the only way I could explain it was volume. That really is the only thing I had to give up. I had to give up being able to have however much I wanted. However much. What is going on with my hair back here? What is it? Oh, that's funny. Had a little alfalfa thing going there. Volume. I can have whatever I want. What I started thinking on my journey is like, it's like part of why I hated this New Directions diet is it took away what I wanted and it took away how much I wanted. But what I liked about keto is while it might have taken away certain foods, it didn't take away volume. I was still free to eat as much as I wanted. So I thought. I was very disappointed when I realized keto still requires you to be in a calorie deficit. Still requires it. I realized I was so far from being able to eat when I was hungry and stop when I was full because dieting diminished these cues. Right. This is why my problem comes in with GLP-1s is it prevents a person from learning how to listen to their hunger cues. It prevents them from being able to do the work of understanding how their body talks to them. It just prevents them from doing it. I'm not saying some people don't need a GLP-1. I'm not saying some people shouldn't use it. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you're taking a GLP-1, you are not able to do the work of learning how to listen to your body's cues. That's an important thing. And this is important because the thing we have to learn to regulate is the volume. I got to be able to stop eating when I still want to keep eating. You know, I had to start realizing like, I'd be like, well, I can't have Oreos and lose weight. Bullshit. Of course I can. I just can't have 12 Oreos a day and lose weight. I mean, and I actually could have 12 Oreos a day, but it just wouldn't keep me full, and I'd have to reduce food intake somewhere else, which would make me real full. I had to work on that. It really came like I had to learn how to balance eating food that would keep me full and then having a little bit of fun food every day. There's nothing wrong with having some fun food every day. Those of you that are doing the daily listening program, you know about the standard plan. You know how fun food fits in. You can have fun food and lose weight. I ate chocolate the entire time I lost weight. I ate chips, French fries, pizza, cake. I had all these things and I still lost all the weight, all 126 pounds, and kept it off. And I teach people to do it all the time. But I had to give up the volume. If I had asked myself, hey, Chris, you can lose weight and you can manage weight, but you can't have tacos anymore because, the tortillas is made of carbs. Screw that. I'm not losing weight in a way that makes me give up tacos. I'm not doing that. I love tacos. I have them every week. I've had tacos every week since I started my journey, just about. I'm sure I've missed a week here or there, but not many. Not many. I love street tacos. Street tacos are my jam. I go every week and get street tacos. I was not going to give up. Just turned out I needed to stop eating 6 or 7 street tacos. Turns out I could have 4 and be fine. Was I full on street tacos? No, but I didn't need to be full. I needed the hunger to be gone. That's it. I needed to not be hungry. I used to think it was important to become full. It was important to become full. Like when you eat, the right way to eat is to be full when you're done. What if, maybe, just maybe, that's not the way it works? What if you don't actually need to be full? What if the objective is to stop being hungry? What if that's the objective? And I started thinking about that stuff on my journey. I don't need to get full. In fact, I started realizing I don't need to be full hardly ever. And I could be very satisfied and I still can have all the foods I want. Then I started realizing there's a difference between my stomach is empty and being hungry. I used to have this thought that I always needed to have food in my system. I needed to always feel like there was something in my belly. But what if that's not true? What if that's not true? What if you don't actually need to have food inside your stomach all the time? What if you really just need to wait to eat until the feelings of hunger show up? Now, wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be interesting if that is actually the thing? I would start eating and then stop eating when the hunger went away, but I'm not full. What if being super hungry doesn't mean I need more food? See, I used to think really hungry meant my stomach is bigger. Therefore, I need more food. But what if that's not true? The thing is, I'm telling you this stuff, but just hearing me doesn't matter. It only works if you go into your real world and try it. What if you committed to yourself for 2 weeks to never get full, just to see what it's like, just to experience it? For 2 weeks, I will never get full, but I will stop eating when I'm not hungry. And if I get hungry again, I'll just eat more food. But I won't be full. I'll never get full. What would that be like? You see, when I think to my old self, I was always getting full. I was chasing that full feeling. I wanted to be full. I wanted that satisfactory, stretchy belly feeling. But what if I didn't need that? What if that was never actually necessary to have that feeling? It's not to say that you can't get full. There's nothing wrong with getting full per se. But if I go back to my old self, I was trying to get stuffed. That stuffed feeling. You know what I'm talking about, right? Not the full feeling, but like that, oh, wow, I have definitely, no more food. I would want to eat to the point that I didn't want to eat anymore. That's when I should stop eating. I should stop eating when I no longer want to. And I would pick restaurants that would give me so much food that I would have this little battle with myself. Like I'd want to keep eating the food that they're bringing me, but I'm reaching this place where I'm like, oh, I just can't eat anymore. And I weirdly felt good leaving the restaurant with food and feeling just stuffed. Like, oh, I did so good. I didn't finish my food. I used to go to Famous Dave's, and I'd get a whole rack of ribs with sides, the fries and everything. And I'd still eat all the sides and everything. And I would try to eat the sides first because they're not as good later. And I would feel so proud of myself if I took some ribs home. But I would walk out of there just absolutely fucking stuffed. I mean, uncomfortable, worried I'm going to shit myself. I'm so stuffed. I'd have to rush to get to a bathroom. It's funny. That's a story past me never thought he'd share in public, but I share it now. And I'd act like there was something wrong with my digestion. There was nothing wrong with my digestion. I was just constantly shoveling more food, and my body's like, we haven't processed what we got. We got to evacuate to make room because this asshole's giving us more. My poor body's just trying to do the best that it can. Yeah, Brie, I see you talking here about the Mexican chips, right? Yeah. I'd eat a whole thing of chips myself. It'd be like, if somebody came up like, hey, sir, would you like to order a 6-ounce block of cheese? And I'd be like, no. Well, what if we melted it and made it liquid? Oh, yes, please. I'd order a whole large queso. I would tell people like, this is mine because I'm also going to pour it all over my quesadilla and dip it in it. Like I need this whole large cheese dip so I could have it with my chips so I can then put it in my quesadilla. Nice big bowl. I'd go to Olive Garden. I still remember the day I discovered you could order a bowl of just the Alfredo sauce for the breadsticks. Oh yeah, that was a good day when I discovered that. That was a good day. So I kept doing it. I would fill up on all that before I even got my meal. And I would just leave just disgustingly stuffed. I had to give that up. That's what I had to give up, that feeling. I didn't have to give up fettuccine Alfredo. I didn't have to give up cheese dip. I didn't have to give up popcorn at the movies. I had to give up getting absolutely stuffed regularly. That's what I had to give up. I didn't want to give that up, though. Not really. Because that was the point. Was getting to that feeling, the journey of getting to that feeling. That's what I was chasing. It's funny, I would actually be kind of disgusted with myself when I get to that feeling. It was a weird thing. It was a weird thing. I was like, oh, I did it again. I ate to the point. I would tell myself, you got to stop eating before you get this uncomfortably full. Like I want to get full, but I don't want to get this uncomfortably full. And I would go home and, just got the full sweats, and I'd have to sit in my recliner and just be like, oh, let's watch some TV. As my automatic headrest would even lift my head for me. I had like electric seats. So I could push buttons and they'd recline for me because I'd be like, oh, I'm so full. I can't even move. Getting the flop sweat. Because I was just so full. My body's just going to town trying to work on this food. That's what I had to give up. You see, when I tried to give up the foods, it was hard. But I was willing to do that, though, as long as I could still eat to the point of very full. And keto is one of my personal favorites of doing that. But I always struggle with a weight loss approach that didn't let me maximize my volume. So that's where I want you to think about on your journey. Are you still cutting out foods? I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with regulating. Like I don't have pizza all the time. I don't have chocolate all the time. I mean, I have it pretty regularly. Small amounts. You can have alcohol even. You just can't have it all the time. That's just it. Like, can you say no to yourself sometimes? Or is it like every time you have a craving, do you have to honor it? Do you have to say yes every time you do it? Maybe not. But you see, the stuff I'm talking about right here, nobody ever said this stuff to me. Nobody ever talked to me about this. None of the diet plans I was going on were telling me about this. None of the weight loss programs I was doing were telling me about this. And the other thing is, like, I had to realize, like, on the journey, I had to stay engaged. Like, all the time. All the time. Like, I see somebody just put in here about my Kickstart program. This is why I created this program, is to help keep you engaged every single day, which is why in the Guild, I've made the daily listening program to keep you engaged every single day, to remind you every day, don't eat to the point of full, don't get stuffed. Wait to eat until you're hungry. Stop before you're full. Stop. You have to be told this hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And then your brain's going to be like, that's right. This is what we do. This is what we do. This is what we do. It's the repetition of the new idea that makes it work. So those of you that are doing my Kickstart program, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I just want you to know that's just the chips. That's just the chips and salsa. You ain't had the entree yet, right? You want the entree, you come to the Guild and you get the full daily listening program where it's going to go for a year. Might actually go longer. We'll see when I get there. But it's going for a year because, like, you have to be engaged every single day. You have to hear the stuff I'm talking about to you all the time, because for many of you, you're just like me. You're old. The brain you're trying to move away from has normalized eating to the point of being stuffed. Your brain is saying it's okay. But what if that's the problem? That your brain and your community, the people you're around with, all are saying it's okay to eat this full, to eat all the chocolate, to eat all the candy, to have desserts whenever you want, to not deprive yourself. Oh, one won't hurt. Have you ever thought about that maybe your community is a big part of what keeps you from losing the weight, because they're normalizing the life that you're trying to leave behind, the life that you in your head have to go, no, I cannot live this life anymore. I cannot live this life anymore. No. This is wrong. I had to start thinking it's disgusting to get stuffed to the point that I could barely walk. I have to, in my head, view that as a disgusting act. I can't let my brain go that it's okay. But I have to have balance, right? I can't be like, no, you can never eat till you're full. That's gross. No, it can't be that. I can't ask myself to give up a food forever that I actually like. I'm not likely to stick to that. And then when I violate that rule, I'll be like, well, I already violated the rule. Might as well violate all the other ones. YOLO. Oh, I had this food that makes me big. No food makes you big. It's the overconsumption of all your foods. And sometimes you push yourself over the edge with one particular one. But you could have 1,000 calories of cake every day. You just have to offset it somewhere else. But usually we don't offset it because cake isn't going to keep you feeling full, so you're going to get hungry. And now you're fighting against your biological hunger and you're fighting against your brain. We talk about this in the emotional eating course about the perfect storm scenario that makes it very likely to overconsume food. You have to learn about the perfect storm. You have to learn how to see it and to spot it. Again, that's why I made the daily listening program that starts with the sampler of the Kickstart, where you can get a taster of what it's like to be engaged with your journey each and every single day. That is what's required. For me to lose my weight and keep it off, I had to become engaged with the weight loss journey every day. I couldn't wake up and go, nah, today I'm not thinking about it. I thought about it every single day. Every day. There were no days off from thinking about it. I had to come up with triggers. I had to come up with a system to remind me. I have to get music. I had to get audio programs to listen to. I had to get a social network with friends, and it was hard. It was hard to cobble it together. It was really hard. That's why I created the programs I did, so that you don't have to go through that such a hard thing of cobbling together the stuff to help you stay focused and reminded every day. It's not that you're not going to fail. Of course you're going to fail. In fact, I kind of hope you fail. I failed a ton. The failures where a lot of the lessons are. There's so many lessons that you can only learn by messing up. That's the only way you can learn it. And there's going to be a lot of things I'm going to try to advise you so you don't make the mistake, but some of y'all are going to be insistent on learning some things the hard way. The marathon in the middle is riddled with people that are trying to learn things the hard way. Just constantly filled with people trying to learn things the hard way because you don't want to listen. That's fine. Me too. I look to my past and I see a whole bunch of lessons that I just insisted on learning the hard way. And then when I finally learned the lesson, I'm like, why did nobody tell me? And then I reflect back. I'm like, oh, people were trying to tell me. Oh, I see it now. Lots of people were trying to tell me. I just was insistent on doing it the hard way. And what I started realizing is when I was trying to learn things the hard way, it usually could be found next to a belief, which is that I'm the exception. I'm the different one. This advice doesn't apply to me. It is amazing how unspecial I am. I'm telling you, you are not that special. You really aren't. I mean, you really, really aren't that special. Your body works probably just like most of us. Weight loss is actually not any harder for you than it is anybody else. It's probably just actually that hard. The temptations and triggers that you feel in your mind, it's probably not that much different than the rest of us. Sure, I'm sure there's a few outliers. Yeah, but let's just assume you're not it. Right? Let's just assume. Let's just assume that you're like everybody else and then go do the things that work for everybody else for longer than 3 weeks. That's the other thing. So many people, they ask themselves to do something, but they give up after 3 weeks. That's not long enough to get momentum. Again, that's why even my taster, my appetizer program, goes for longer than 5 days so that you can get a sense of like, I got to get momentum, but you got to keep going. I see it happen all the time. A person will get in my program, they'll consume a bunch of things, they'll lose 15, 20, 30 pounds, like, I got this, I got it all figured out, and then they leave, and then they gain it all back. And I'm like, it's because you weren't engaged long enough. 3 months, that's rookie numbers. And I had to start shifting that in my head, that 3 months of focus isn't enough to offset 25 years of conditioning. It is not enough. Losing 20 pounds doesn't mean jack shit when it comes to me actually changing. I had to do this for years. I've been thin, healthy. I've been becoming actively thin, healthy, happy, and in shape since 2019. I have been thin, healthy, happy, and in shape now, or I completed the journey since 2021. My life has been still mostly filled with me being fat, unhealthy, unhappy, and out of shape. Like, that is still the majority of my adult life. I still have a lot of the old thoughts. I still have a lot of the old cravings. They're still there. I still have to think about this all the time. Do I have to think about it as much as I did before? Yes, I do. I still have to think about it every day. But here's the thing. Because I've been doing it for so many years, it's automatic. My natural way of thinking has shifted. I don't have to stop consciously and go, am I hungry? I do it some, but I don't have to do it a lot because I just automatically and instinctually ask myself that question. I just automatically wait for my hunger to interrupt me. I just automatically, when I go to food, my brain goes, but are you hungry though? My brain just does it. Do I sometimes have to recondition myself and reinforce that a little bit more? Well, of course. Turns out thin people have to do it too. It's just part of how it works. You got to stay engaged for a long time. And that is another reason why people quit and they don't lose all the weight is because they do something for 2 or 3 months and they want to take breaks from thinking about this. And the reason why they want to take breaks is they're overwhelming their conscious mind by asking themselves to do too much, asking themselves to change too much, too fast, too often, or changing things that they don't even really want to do. And if you have a weight loss program that's doing and you fucking hate it, you're not going to keep doing it. You got to actually at least kind of be okay with what you're doing. Otherwise, you're not going to keep doing it. Anyway, we're at time. Thanks for being here. Thanks for letting me rant on this one. It's been a fun rant. Hey, those of y'all that have done the Kickstart program, the journey continues in the Guild. Do me a favor, those of y'all that are doing the daily listening program in the Guild, chime in the chat so the other people know about it. Also, don't forget about the Becoming Thin podcast. I need to change that because I actually don't know if there's going to be new episodes every Friday anymore. I'm actually thinking about going to every other week. So still sitting with that decision. I have not dropped an episode the last 2 weeks. This has been the first time in a long time I have let myself miss some weeks. And I've got 1 million downloads now, and I've got 260 something episodes. Like, there's so much out there. And I'm just, I'm worried that people are consuming the podcast and mistaking it for changing. And my goal is to help people become thin, healthy, happy, and in shape. So The podcast, we'll see. We'll see. Those of you podcast lovers, we'll see. But again, those of you doing the Kickstart, go check out guildofchampions.com. Love to have you become a part of the journey, because I'm telling you, in the guild, you don't have to worry about running out of stuff. I'm gonna coach you and give you content to last your entire weight loss journey. The Food, Body, Mind podcast, we're having regular episodes drop in that. We got the 15-minute grounding sessions. You got new courses coming out. I am re-delivering the entire backlog of the guild and doing it in 15 and 30-minute chunks to make it a lot easier for you to digest. So really, really wanting to make that a big part of the journey for you. I see, right here, you're on day 42 of the daily listening. Good. I'm glad you like it. Don't binge the daily listening, people. It's not a podcast. There's plenty of stuff for you to binge. Just don't binge that. Have a great day, everybody. So good to see you. Go have a great week on your weight loss journey. Can't wait to see you the next time I see you, wherever I see you. And let's see, we'll bring up some fun music. The thing to remember about the weight loss journey is you have to take this one day at a time. One day at a time. You have to be in the day you're in. Be in the day you're in. We talk about this in my daily listening program, about the best way to have a great tomorrow is to have a great today. You need to hear that in your ear again and again and again and again and again. You got to recondition your thinking, your automatic ways of thinking. That's what I had to do. And that's what you're going to have to do. I've seen so many other people make it. That's what they had to do. They had to actually start changing how they think. And it doesn't happen fast. I know you want it to. I know you want to go to sleep one day and wake up and be different, but that's just not how it works. I know a lot of you want to find a shortcut. You want to find a pill. You want to find a magic bullet. You want to find something that just allows you to change without having to go through the process of changing. It just doesn't work that way. Have a great week. See you next time.